Heaven is a very hard place to get into. A very close second is probably Wakanda. My name is Dorian, this is SEN Comics. We are continuing our coverage of X-Force, number 2. Our story starts off with Sage running for her life and pretty much expressing what I already started the video with. She says, why in the hell do we think we could sneak into Wakanda? So then on the next page, we cut to 1 hour ago over Central Africa, and you got Tank flying the plane, and when he talks, he sounds like a robot. Like, we need to get the backstory on Tank. Like, I know eventually we will, but I really want to know what's up with this dude. And then we have Surge, who joined the team in the last issue. It's like, we're helping people, and people should know that. And Rachel and Betsy Braddock had to pretty much let her know that, we're off the books team, and not even our family and friends know what we're doing. Then you got Forge, who pretty much co-signs and says they are doing the right thing, they are helping people, but then he's staring at the analog thing, he is obsessed with it. Then you got Sage, who's the only level-headed person right now, and she pretty much comes out the steps and says, this is stupid. Wakanda is, at minimum, 800 years ahead of us when it comes to technology. That's including Tony Stark, and that's including Reed Richards. Forge is like feeling himself. He's like, look, my mutant ability pretty much solves problems. Getting into Wakanda is a problem, and my mutant power solves for it. And as soon as he said that, all you hear is a shriek, like there's a missile coming, and boom! Plane is destroyed and everybody's pretty much falling out of it. And if I was Sage, I don't care if I'm falling to my death. Before I die, I would get next to Forrest and be like, I told you we shouldn't be coming to Wakanda. So Betsy and Rachel are fine because they could fly, but then they start reacting to these drums that they hear. So Forge is telling Sage to grab her hand. Sage is wondering why the hell the boots that Forge designed so that they can jump out of planes and just land easily are not working. Surge and Tank are also falling, and now they're starting to react to the drums that they hear. So on the next page, we see Forge and Sage have landed, and Forge is like, are you okay? And Sage is like, 80% intact, the rest is ow. So they're trying to figure out what's going on. All of a sudden, Betsy comes out of this like cloud, and she's like, it's magic. My magic is fighting it, but I don't think it can fight it off for too long. And on the next page, we see that they have been transformed. Rachel, Betsy, Surge, and Tank. And like Tank looks like a rock monster. And they got some Wakandas with them, but they also look like they're in like ancient garb too. So Forge is like, are you analyzing this? And Sage is like, I'm never not analyzing. But I guess the woman in charge in Wakanda says, get him. And the Tank comes down with that big ass club that he has. Now Rachel is also using her powers to shoot at him too. But somehow, some way, they get away. And then Forge puts up like a cloaking device. So Forge is like, this is crazy. I need to get back to my workplace on the jet. And Sage is like, are you talking about the jet that just blew up? And Forge is like, yep, that one. So Sage is like, you're fantasizing about things you can't have. Just like you fantasize about trying to come into Wakanda. So as she's talking best about Forge, she's looking around. She's trying to figure out what they're going to do next. She turns around. Forge is gone. She's like, what the hell? Damn it, Forge. And as soon as he says that, she's caught. So they're speaking to her in Wakandan, but it's ancient Wakanda. Sage is able to pick it up and, because her brain is a supercomputer, and she's able to talk back to him. So they take her to meet the Black Panther, and she sees that there's a magical drum, and she goes, I hate magic. Magic's so unpredictable, and I can't stand it. I guess it's hard to analyze. So this dude's doing his supervillain monologue, and Sage is like, you're not the Black Panther. You're not T'Challa. I've met T'Challa, and you're not him. So now the goggles that Forge gave her is actually helping her out. She's able to look at the drum, and now she's able to like break down the magic into like an algorithmic form. So she doesn't like magic, but at least now she kind of understands it a little bit, or at least that drum. So of course the dude is pissed and he's yelling, I am the Black Panther. He tries to use the drum to try to change her, but she's not changing. The reason why she's not changing is because of the goggles. So she uses this opportunity to grab a gun off of one of the other Wakandas and start shooting at the Black Panther, false Black Panther. And she makes her escape. But of course he sends everybody after her. Rachel and Betsy get close. Tank damn near smashes her, but it's Surge that actually catches up to her. So of course Surge tries to hit her. I don't know how Sage got out the way because, Surge has super speed, but Sage takes off her glasses or her goggles, puts it on Surge. Surge changes back, and then now Sage is starting to change because of the magic, because now she hears it, and the goggles was the only thing that's protecting her. But before she changes, she tells Surge to go find Forge. Give him the goggles, he'll understand. So Surge is like, well, where is Forge? And Sage's like, I don't know, go find him. Use your super speed. So Surge takes off, and Sage is doing her best not to succumb to the magic. And then Surge finally finds Forge, who was rebuilding the plane, and it's at about 78%. She starts talking like fast because she's a speedster. And I wonder if this is how Flash and like Quicksilver talk. Like, you probably can't understand it because they're talking so fast. And Forge is like, hey, slow down. I can't understand you. The only thing you can understand her say is no time. And she just puts the goggles on. So then he sees that the reason why Sage didn't turn is because of goggles. The reason why he didn't turn is because of the analog, that stupid ball that he always obsesses over. Then we cut back to the fake Black Panther, who's talking about using the drum to take over the world, which all supervillains fantasize about. And Forge comes out of nowhere with his plan, which is pretty much to take the ball or the analog thing and hit it with the drum. And when he does that, it resets everything. Well, come to find out, this dude is just a normal businessman who is in Wakanda, and he snuck into the royal vault and stole the sacred drum. But now, the Wakandan guards all turn back, and they use their advanced technology to pretty much corral him. And they pretty much say that he is going to be going into the deep well for the rest of his natural life. Like, there's no trial, nothing. It's, you're going in the well, you're never getting out. So then she starts talking to Forge, and she's like, oh yeah, you're the one who used to date our former queen, which is Thorne. If you guys didn't know that. And she's like, most of you guys are in our mutant databases, except for the big one. He's not. And that's why we need a backstory for him. She's like, you invaded our lands, but you did help us out. So because you helped us out, I'm going to give you 10 minutes to pack up your stuff and get the hell out of here. And if you ever come back uninvited, you will be joining that dude in the deep well. And that's why you don't go into Wakanda. So then Surge is like, the jet's 100% again by itself, because that's amazing. So Forge is like, X-Jets get blown up a lot. And I personally get sick of it. So I designed ours to repair itself. And Surge says, it's so cool in Japanese. And then Forge is like, and not a moment too soon, because we need to be in Cambodia like yesterday. As we see this big dude just walking through the streets of Cambodia. Police are shooting at him. It's not doing anything to him. All right, let's get Tank's backstory in the next issue. Please, we need no Tank's backstory.